Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, students, teachers, and our guests. We welcome you to UNIFAIR Disha 2024, curated by Young Achievers in association with the Millennium School. It's my great pleasure to see so many bright minds here as we gather today and prepare to embark on a discussion that promises both to be enlightening and thought provoking. As we explore our first topic of the discussion, which is the future of education and the challenges and opportunities it brings, we are fortunate to have with us a panel of experts who bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table. Their diverse perspectives and deep understanding of this subject will give us thorough intricacies of this conversation. Without further ado, it's my honor to invite our esteemed panel members to the stage. First, we have Ms. Vrinda Tandon, who's the Regional Manager for Outreach at Ashoka Universities. Let's give her a round of applause. We have Ms. Alka Sethi, Manager Admissions at Kriya University. We have Sabah Idris, Admissions and Outreach Manager at ISBF. Mr. Ankur Kaushik is a certified design thinking expert representing Ecole Intuit Lab. And Ms. Bijoy Lakshmi, who is admissions and outreach professional at RV University.
Ma'am, please.
Let's welcome all. We will also have Mr. Lavjen sir, founder of Young Achievers, who will be moderating this discussion.
Okay, all right.
Please join me in giving them a warm round of applause.
So coming to the panel discussion, so today we are going to have a discussion on the future of education. We are all concerned with the future individually. All of us are concerned what is going to happen. There is a lot of uncertainty. And at the same time, we are also discussing what will be the future of education and what kind of challenges and opportunities will come on in our way. When it comes to future of education, we have to see it from different aspects. Future of education from the point of view of women, future of education from the point of view of government policies, future of education from the point of view of tech, what technical systems that have come up, how they are going to benefit the current education system. So there are multiple aspects related to future of education. And we have some very fine panelists with us where we are going to talk about what will be future of education. So we have Mr. Ankur Kaushik with us, who is from a design background. And what I know is he tries to solve problems around you with the help of design. So, sir, my first question will go to you. Like, as far as the future of education is concerned, what kind of design would you recommend? What kind of design thinking is required to solve the current problems with the help of education? So, sir, would like to hear you.
I think design is going to be very important. It's not a type or a thing. Design essentially सबसे ज़्यादा flexible होना है और evolve होना है. I think ये दो चीजें हैं जो हमें impart करनी होंगी, चाहे हम कोई भी skill सिखा रहे हो किसी को, उसको flexible कैसे बनाया जाए इंसान को. We are already looking at what is happening around in the world. मतलब आज भी हम लोग एक दूसरे को मारे बिना problem solve नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. This is not what future can look like. We don't want to create this future. And it's coming from this feeling of us and them, in group and out group. We will have to eradicate this feeling. And design is the most beautiful tool. क्योंकि ये आपको सिखाता है कि कोई भी एक चीज सच नहीं होती. There's no absolution. कोई भी चीज absolute नहीं होती. We'll always have to experiment and we'll have to evolve from the understanding of those experiments. And right now people want to be stuck. Design teaches us to how to not be stuck, most importantly. Being stuck is such a common feeling, being stuck in the system, being stuck in a role that you're playing in life, being stuck in a career. But design really teaches you how to solve problems and how to come out. So it does not matter कि आप लोग कौन सा स्ट्रीम प्रेफर करेंगे, आप एक इंजीनियर बनेंगे, डॉक्टर बनेंगे, या ऐसी बहुत सारी नौकरियां करेंगे जो अभी तक एग्जिस्ट भी नहीं करती। आई थिंक अगर हम फ्यूचर ऑफ एजुकेशन डिस्कस करना चाह रहे हैं तो डिजाइन शुड बी एन एसेंशियल पार्ट ऑफ एजुकेशन सिस्टम्स। इट विल टीच अस हाउ टू बी ह्यूमन। चीजें इन्वेंट करना, कुछ नया बनाना, कुछ क्रिएट कर पाना इज व्हाट मेक्स अस ह्यूमन। और अभी एक बात याद आई मुझे, निगाह फैसली की, हम सब ने उनके बॉलीवुड में बड़े गाने सुने हैं, बट ही आल्सो राइट्स वेरी ब्यूटीफुल पोएट्री। ही सेज बच्चों के इन नन्हे नन्हे हाथों को अभी चांद सितारे छूने दो, कल चार किताबें पढ़ के ये भी हमसे हो जाएंगे। और आजकल तो जो है ना, हाथ चांद सितारे की ओर भी नहीं जा रहे, स्क्रीन पे रह जा रहे हैं। हम बहुत बौद्धिक होते जा रहे हैं, बहुत
Absolutely.
ज्यादा बौद्धिक होते जा रहे हैं, इसलिए लोग अपनी बुद्धि में जीने लगे हैं। और उंगलियां जो एक ऐसी चीज है जो हमें महसूस कराने का इतना बड़ा टूल है। मतलब आप घास को छुओ, आप पेड़ को छुओ, अपने बालों को छुओ, पेपर को छुओ, पेंसिल को छुओ, आर्ट ड्रॉ करना भी एक सेंस ऑफ फीलिंग है। So we are going very far away from feeling. This will have to stop. We'll have to enter into our feelings. क्योंकि आने वाले टाइम्स ना बड़े खतरनाक हैं लव जी। मतलब आई सी टेक्नोलॉजी एज अ सिद्धि, एक सिद्धि है जो कामयाब हो गई है, और अब जिस लेवल पे अपग्रेड होती जा रही है ना, वो बहुत इंटेंस है। और हम सब लोग एक होते जा रहे हैं धीरे धीरे, और एक होने के बाद जो मॉब बनता है ना, वो बहुत खतरनाक हो जाता है।
Correct.
तो हमारे को एक भी होना होगा। एजुकेशन अब वो एक तरह की टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी ज्यादा एडवांस हो गई है, इट विल प्ले अ रोल, बट इट शुड नॉट बी जस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी। हमने आज भी दीपक जलाया ना, वो मोमेंट कितना खूबसूरत था। आई रियली अप्रिशिएट दैट दिस ऑल हैपेंड। इट वाज अ ब्यूटीफुल मोमेंट। आई थिंक डिजाइन शुड बी अ पार्ट ऑफ एवरी एजुकेशन, वेरी एसेंशियल, क्योंकि उससे आपको कुछ बहुत ही एसेंशियल क्वालिटीज जो एक इंसान में होनी चाहिए वो आएगी। चीजों को समझना, चीजों को देखना, चीजों को सीखना, और चीजों को बेहतर बनाना, हाउ टू क्रिएट चेंज। उसके अलावा आई थिंक फ्यूचर ऑफ एजुकेशन, अगर डिजाइन की बात करें तो आई थिंक डिजाइन विल हैव टू गो टू द टीचर्स आल्सो, क्योंकि मेरे पास टाइम भी कितना है?
We can discuss
परफेक्ट, ओके।
2-3 more minutes.
शिक्षक, ओ परफेक्ट। मैं शिक्षक को भी डिस्कस करना चाहूंगा कि शिक्षक से ज्यादा रिस्पांसिबिलिटी किसी की नहीं है। चाहे कोई भी और कितनी भी रिस्पांसिबिलिटी उसमें लेके आना चाहे। एंड समटाइम्स इट टेक्स अ लॉन्ग टाइम फॉर सिस्टम्स टू चेंज, बट पीपल कैन बी डिफरेंट। तो एक शिक्षक अपने आप को कैसे कंडक्ट करता
Like
है?
sir, we are now living in a globalized environment.
Yes.
Right, so that environment has a lot of influences.
Yes.
As far as culture is concerned. So because how we can bring standardized practices across the globe,
बिल्कुल।
right, with the help of design in education. Because what I feel is the kind of problems which are existing today have a lot of potential to be solved with the help of design,
Yes.
even in education sector.
Yes.
And when we are designing the curriculum, in fact, right, we are talking about globalized relevance to it. So design thinking should also be applied, I would say, in solving problems in a global manner. And with respect to all those cultural influences, we should be able to adapt to them.
Yes, and we are, मतलब ये एक इनएविटेबल सी चीज हो गई है। बड़ा खूबसूरत है कि पटना में एक बच्चा बैठ के अपने गांव के सैनिटेशन सिस्टम को रिडिजाइन कर सकता है।
Correct.
ऐसे एक्सपर्ट्स हैं जो सबका एक्सपर्ट्स है।
Hmm.
एंड इट इज पॉसिबल। रिसोर्स, डिस्टेंस अभी मैटर नहीं करते बिल्कुल। तो बड़ी
Absolutely.
खूबसूरत जगह पे आई थिंक इस जगह पे एक रिस्पांसिबिलिटी फर्स्ट और सेकंड वर्ल्ड कंट्रीज की ये आती है कि हम लोगों को थर्ड वर्ल्ड कंट्रीज को टेक्नोलॉजी के केस में सपोर्ट करना चाहिए, मे बी थ्रू
Correct.
चैरिटी, बिकॉज़ अब इकट्ठापन होना होगा और सब कुछ टेक्नोलॉजी के थ्रू बहुत कुछ जाने वाला है। तो फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड में, सेकंड वर्ल्ड में है ये, बट ये एक अलग किस्म की कोलोनाइजेशन हो जाएगी। समझो, टेक्नोलॉजिकल कोलोनाइजेशन हो जाएगी। कुछ दुनिया है जिसको भी ये नहीं मिली है, वो अलग हो गई है, और कुछ को मिल
Absolutely,
गई है।
which is already happening.
Yes. So I think it is our responsibility as people to try to bring unity and equity in this world. And yes, but design, again, coming back to design thinking, problem solving. Design is going nowhere. It's the most essential skill. Creation is going nowhere. We need to
Urinda ma'am has
create
come.
creators.
Please,
And
be
for that, we
welcome.
need to
Please.
make students be more fearless. और ये सब आएगा, ये सब होगा। I think design के through होगा। Very very positive approach है इसको लेके. It was beautiful to have your address in the beginning. And I think I'm going to sign out. If there are any questions from anybody or from the panel,
We'll take up the questions after the session. So my next question goes to Bijoy. Bijoy, she is an outreach professional from RV University, and she's working on admissions for RV University for a very long time. And I would like to know from you, Bijoy, uh, as the job market is evolving, right? What changes should be made to the current educational curriculum to better prepare students for future careers?
Last few decades, we have already seen lots of changes in the education system, which is kind of making the students job ready right from senior secondary level. Like long ago, I mean, long back, there was no internship kind of things
Correct.
in 11th and 12th. But now students are going for internship right from right after 10th. In some schools, even students from ninth grade and 10th grades are also going for internship. So the basic thing is we should not just stuck to the bookish knowledge. The practical knowledge is very, very important, and that is only going to make us industry ready in the future. Same thing, I mean, most of the universities, aside the private university, even the public university and the central universities, they are also like, nowadays into lots of job oriented courses, professional courses, and like, internship, which has become an integral part of the entire curriculum. So that thing has to be taken seriously, because as I told, just bookish knowledge is not going to help us reach anywhere, because there's a huge competition out there in the market. But of course, there is a huge demand of skilled people in every field. So we must focus on, like, building our skills apart from, like, this degrees.
Yeah, yeah, wonderful, Bijoy. Next question to uh, Kriya, because you are having an interdisciplinary university. So, my question would go, how can interdisciplinary approaches to education prepare students for the complex challenges of the future? So, mostly on interdisciplinary learning.
Sure. Hello everyone, very good morning. Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful opportunity, and thank you, Dr. M. sir, for this opportunity. Uh, Interdisciplinary today is the key game wherein, we understand that subjects cannot be studied in silos. You don't study a particular subject all by itself. Subjects together are to be learned, their application has to be learned. That is what, is the name of the game today when we talk about interdisciplinary courses, because it talks about development of an individual holistically. We are not just focusing on one subject wherein, you have to master a subject and you do not know anything about any other subject across. Today we are talking about you people as leaders for tomorrow. So if you specialize only in a particular subject and you do not have an access or a knowledge, we don't say that you become a master of all the subjects at one given glance itself. So there is development. So education today is an ongoing process. When we talk about opportunities in education, education is an ongoing process, and we talk about learning holistically, which is the most important aspect today. Examples wherein, we at Priya, we talk about interdisciplinary subjects that are there, wherein we talk about a subject impacting the learnings and impacting the learnings of another subject itself. So this is how the interdisciplinary approach is going to go ahead, and it will be the future. Liberal education is a future where a subject, as a student, can excel in subjects of his or her liking. We are not going to the rote learning methodology wherein, there are predefined subjects which a student has to study irrespective of the liking or not. We talk about, subjects that a person can excel in. You study subjects as per your liking and choice, and you excel in, rather than just gaining average knowledge in that subject. That is what is the focus of interdisciplinary learning, and it is gaining importance nowadays with more and more colleges coming in, and opportunities being bring across, and even the job market is looking out for people with such kind of a knowledge, because we are looking at overall leaders, people who can uh, face challenges and, convert them into opportunities. A very simple example of interdisciplinary learning would be COVID came as a challenge to most of the industries, most of the professions, but there were people who changed this challenge into an opportunity. That is what interdisciplinary education teaches its students. We talk about the overall development of a candidate, we talk about enhancement of your holistic personalities, making you aware of the challenges, global challenges all across, and making you leaders for tomorrow, wherein you're ready to face any kind of a challenge and turn that into opportunities as well.
Oh, wonderfully explained, Alka. For the students also, I would like to explain a little more on interdisciplinary learning. Uh, it used to be, in earlier times, when we used to apply to a university, they used to give us subjects directly. Like, suppose we have to go for a BA honors program, so they said, okay, we have economics or history or political science or such programs available. So it used to be like, a complete core competency you have to develop in only one subject. So we used to go vertically into that subject, and gain uh, valuable information or knowledge through that particular degree program. But it was never your type of, let's say, your needs were never assessed. So when it comes to interdisciplinary learning, these new age universities like Kriya, what I mean to say, suppose if you go to them and say that my degree program should actually have maybe economics, I want to take up maybe entrepreneurship with that, maybe I am also good at digital arts, and maybe I would also like to take up design or music along with it. So you you can understand that this is possible now. So now you will say that I want these subjects, and this is how your degree program is made. So such universities like Kriya, right, are leading into such environment wherein you get liberal education. So maybe
Just
Alka,
to
you would
add
like to
to it,
explain a little more.
a wonderful opportunity for all the students to tailor make their own courses. As he rightly
Yes.
mentioned, that gone are those times wherein you go to conventional universities and then say, okay, there is a BCom course, you're studying only commerce. Okay, not saying commerce students anything, but just citing an example that it is not a restricted learning. Today at liberal arts colleges, we are making our own courses. So somebody learns
Yeah,
economics,
yeah. I'll give you
and
this also.
along with it, you study a subject called psychology. So when we talk of interwovenness, when we talk of interdisciplinary, I'm talking about how the economy impacts the psyche of an individual and how psyche of an individual impacts the economy of the country. That is what is the beauty of liberal education today. That is what you study subjects interdisciplinary, and that is what is the key element to education. That's the future of education. And people who are doing this, they become out of the box thinkers that are there. They are not into the conventional learning. Careers opportunities etc are way beyond the classical approaches. They're joining consultancies, they are into the advisory boards. A lot of options, a new, you can see, a lot of career growth is available for students who are doing these interdisciplinary courses that are there. So that's the new, I'll say, age of education,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
growing nowadays.
Thank you, Elka.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you so
And
much.
we have with us, because we are talking about interdisciplinary learning, we have Vrinda with us from Ashoka University. And she would also like to, tell a bit about maybe the same learnings.
I
Yeah.
think I'll just put an example to it.
Yeah.
I have the entire 12th with me right now.
Yeah, we have
11th.
12th and 11th and 10th also.
All right. Okay. There is an example in this very room which is actually interdisciplinary, and most of you use it on a daily basis. Can somebody tell me that? Anyone? Because when I tell you, you're going to be very very stunned. Okay. How many of you actually own smartwatches? Show of hands.
Yeah.
You've seen
Everyone.
smartwatches. What is this made of? Computer science, hardware and software, biology. ये चलता फिरता बीपी की मशीन है मेरे हाथ में. It's telling me my heartbeat, right? And design. Every single discipline around you is interdisciplinary already. The clothes that you wear. This is textiles and design. The malls that you go to, architecture, design, electricity, so on and so forth. Engineers and architects have to work together for it, right? True? Yes or no?
Yes.
Very quickly. All right. So that is interdisciplinarity. We're just giving that to you in a classroom setting. That's it. The whole thing of theory of how interdisciplinarity works in the real world and how it's actually upcoming, it has already been there since ages. You've just not realized it. That's it. There is nothing different about it. Yes, of course, it's not traditional degrees. It is not going to give you a BB or a BCom. It's not going to give you an MBBS or a BTech. Sorry, in some cases it might give you a BTech also because Plaksha
Yes, yes,
is
yes.
a
Plaksha
liberal
is
education
offering.
university, my bad. But it will still give you the skill and the knowledge that you acquire with it. Ma'am was asked about placements. Let me tell you something. Placements at a liberal education university also work very differently. How many of you actually like political science as a major? Pol science? Anyone?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, one person. Um, economics, English. What if I tell you, and computer science for that matter? Sorry, my bad. Okay. What if I tell you that the highest package last year at Ashoka University was 35 lakhs per annum after an undergrad? This is not a graduation course, this is an undergrad course. Which discipline got it? That one discipline that you don't like to study before any, वो बस एग्जाम से एक साल पहले पढ़ा जाता है. कौन सा सब्जेक्ट है वो?
Humanities.
बस. English and Media Studies. Hindustan Unilever hired one of my English and Media Studies student, and Hindustan Unilever only hires from these schools. Mind that. They hired one of my kids as an area sales head after an undergrad. That's a 22-year-old girl heading a team of people twice her age already. Because the skills that she acquired along the way sort of overcame the whole thing of her studying or not studying in a B school. I'm not trying to negate anybody who's sitting here. I'm not trying to negate any of the universities that are sitting here. I'm just telling you that there is something new and improved that has come out with the national education policy as well, by the way. We are the skeleton for the national education policy, the 4-year program. Just FYI. Okay?
Okay, I'll carry on with another question for you, Vrinda. Like we have traditional exams which happen everywhere. Now, can there be a better system in future for education to have an understanding of individual at a 360-degree level, and how Ashoka is probably
Different.
doing that?
Right. So, like I said, this entire structure is very holistic in nature. Right. It's very dynamic structure. It will change every day because you don't have books. You don't have regular books that you study from. You're given study material prior to your class. You understand it. You come to a classroom and you discuss. Right. Like this is a monologue. I'm telling you people stuff. But if I actually leave the classroom to you guys and I just sit there and let you people discuss, wherein in a classroom you have somebody who has economics and psychology together, economics and political science together, economics and biology together, economics and computer science together. Imagine the sort of perspectives that have come out, right? So in that case, when you sit down in a classroom and you discuss, you come out with actual understanding of concepts. So obviously, the assessments of these concepts cannot be taken in the same way. You can't have a rote learning system in such scenarios, right? So what happens is every professor has the liberty to ask for the sort of assessment that they want. I have students who've made reels in an entrepreneurship class because that was their assessment. I have students who've written research projects. I have students who've done group projects. I have students who've done actual market understanding just to come up with one thesis. That's it. And it's a very small thesis, okay? A half a page thesis. I have students who have, so one of the professors that I know of, उनकी class में he basically says he's a CS professor. अब CS में रट्टा तो मारना पड़ता है कभी कभी. तो उन्होंने कहा रट्टा तो मारना है नहीं. So what he did was he told them that I will let you cheat on the final exam,
Wow.
but you will make your own cheat sheet.
Cheat sheets.
But you will only be allowed one cheat sheet in the entire class. ठीक? अब उसमें होता क्या है? To make that cheat sheet, इतनी पढ़ाई हो जाती है that they don't need it at the end of it. It's like that. Because every student understands differently. they learn differently, which is why the assessments have to be very, very open minded
Open.
at all times
Right.
in a structure like this, right? So, yeah,
So
that's how
will
assessments
we
work.
ever need a mark sheet for that?
You actually get credits for that.
Grades we
That's
get.
the best
Okay.
part. So, in such systems, you don't have a mark sheet.
Yeah.
There's no 90%, 80%, 100%. There's a grade. Either you get that grade or you don't get that grade. So either you get an A or an A plus, or you just pass that class, or you don't pass that class. Khatam. There's no first, second, third. There's no best student or worst student in a classroom. Everybody is on the same plane, because obviously everybody is coming from a very different mindset. You're coming from different backgrounds. You're coming from different classes. You're coming from different cities. You're coming from multiple spaces and multiple different disciplines. So obviously, to put you guys on the same ground, we can't be grade. So we just give you sort of an alphabet. This is what I call it. We give you an alphabet, A, B, C, or D.
All right.
Khatam.
All right.
I'd like to add.
So probably Alka would like to add few things. Yeah.
I'd like to add to what.
I think we can
Yeah.
take up the entire panel.
Okay, so many a times when we talk about assessments and selecting candidates for liberal arts colleges and universities, we aren't looking at right or wrong answers even when we are, interviewing candidates. We're looking at a person who is a fitment to the university. We look at a person who is an out of the box thinker, somebody who can think beyond boundaries is what is the key factor when you apply to such colleges, when you apply to, because marks is something, obviously we need marks because academically you're studying in a university, it's an educational setup, you need to have that kind of a basic understanding of a subject and you need to have those. But apart from marks, because many times students says that okay, I've got such great marks, and suppose you do not have that thinking ability, you're not a critical thinker, you're not able to apply logic,
How will
then
you
it
defend?
becomes
Yes.
difficult for you to be a part of such a program, because it is not liberal literally. When I talk about liberal education, we're not talking about liberal in a literal sense.
Correct.
It is a lot of coursework that goes across, a lot of critical thinking that goes across. It is, many students land up doing research work, wherein there you're studying a subject in depth, to excel in that subject. You need to have a different mindset to do a program. And I can tell you that even if at school level you feel that okay, we are doing just a boundary learning, we are co-structured, and but when you come to such colleges, the methodology, the pedagogy that we guys adopt to train students, it is tremendous effort that's being put in by the trainers, by the professors who are there in such a field, that it brings out the ability in that student to go beyond boundaries and think out of the box.
Yeah.
That is what is the key element when you apply to these universities and when you excel in such colleges. So we're not looking at marks only for a person to get into. And when he said the kind of assessment, what we are looking forward to, we're looking forward to a person who can take up such a rigorous coursework, and at that time you enjoy it also, you add on to the learnings. That is very, very important.
Right.
So that is what is the basic approach that we at liberal arts colleges are following right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now I'd like to come to Sabha. She's representing Indian School of Business and Finance. And so Sabha, like how ISBF is changing the paradigm of higher education, and what implications it has for traditional universities. Like most of the traditional universities have a different way of working, and ISBF has a collaboration with London School of Economics. So how do you bring that means change, or how do you see that change from the traditional universities with respect to ISBF? Yeah.
Firstly, good morning everyone, and I would like to thank ma'am and sir you as well.
Thank you.
To invite me here and put my words forward. So, as the question says, how ISBF is providing something different. So, I would like to take everyone back to a traditional Indian traditional form of teaching, that was the Gurukul form of teaching, that was majorly focused on practical based and skilled based learning, that actually give each and every student enrolled in that Gurukul form to have all sort of practical knowledge alongside to develop one particular special skill set that is original to that student. So with LSE, since the independence and the globalization and all the university coming towards India and seeing this form of education system, they took this form to their country and started this kind of practical research based education in their universities, and leaving behind us with India to a set of textbook form of education where asking questions, thinking out of the box was thought of a rebel sort of act for young students, young people who are looking forward towards education as a change towards their society, towards our growth as a India. But in LSE, when we are bringing back that degree and that form of education here, which was originally ours only, so we are with ISBF, we are giving that practical form of teaching only. With
Okay.
for the commerce streams like economics, business studies, accountancy, everything. Here, the courses alongside the students are getting the degree of University of London. Under the guidelines of LSE, the curriculum is designed for both the teaching and the evaluation system. So that is the unique aspect of
Okay.
ISBF.
Okay. So it was wonderful interacting on this first topic. We had a wonderful interaction. Everybody contributed to the topic, but the topic is so wide and we have very limited time to continue for these discussions. But I hope all the students must have got good idea about future of education and how it is taking shape, how transformation is happening.